9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
What's up, beautiful people? Happy Wednesday. It's a beautiful day here in Southern California. We got a lot to talk about, a lot to discuss. And if you hear the sound of my sultry voice, that means the mayor has the keys to the castle. And we're going to be talking about a lot of things this week. Of course, last time you saw me was the Monday Night Raw watch along, well, post show that is. And of course, we got some NXT stuff to talk about. So in proper fashion, when I have the keys, I got somebody riding shotgun with me. And this will be your official, unofficial reintroduction to something I like to call We Got Next. I introduce to you one half of the greatest podcast tag team of all time. Mr. Jacob DeLawrence is with me. Mr. DeLawrence, it's Wednesday. How we feeling?
I'm feeling good. Feeling great. Hair's a bit of a mess, but you know, it is what it is. Y'all are in for a treat today. Y'all are going to get a vintage throwback performance from the former reigning, defending, undisputed podcast tag team champions of the world. Because we finna be in rare form, and we got some stuff to talk about.
And speaking of that rare form, what we like to do is we like to talk about NXT. Of course, I believe you guys had your Tuesday Night Feral watch along where we talked about NXT. A lot of stuff happened last night as we shape up the Stand and Deliver card. We know they moved the show from 12:30 to 9:30 a.m. now. And now we know of a, let's just call it a ladder match to determine the new Women's North American Champion. We know the presumed main event is a triple threat between Obafemi, Trick Williams, as well as Javon Evans. And we have a new North American Champion in Mr. Ricky Starks. Any of those things stand out to you, Jacob? Did you get a chance to actually catch the show?
Yeah, I watched it today. All three stand out. So where you want to start? You want to start with Ricky? I feel like we can get Pretty Ricky out of here pretty quick.
Get him out of here real quick. Actually, I want to start somewhere else. I want to start with somebody that's not featured on NXT. Give me 1 second while I do this introduction.
Gunter, the ring general Gunter.
It's been a minute.
Never gets old.
And the sweetest Oos is in the building. I don't know what happened here. I don't know what's going on with the way people are showing up on screen. I don't know who changed this. I'll just put it that way. I don't know who changed this, but Honey's in the building with us.
What's up, guys? Oh my God, what's happening here?
I don't know what's going on with the toggles. I don't know. There we go.
Okay,
There we go.
This is cute. This is good. What's up, guys? How are you? I missed your faces. Good to see you.
This is funny. Because I was told that like I was supposed to be doing this TK. TK is running a little late. She made it seem like everybody is
I literally jetted from work because I was like, I didn't say yes or no in the chat because I was like, I don't want to say no because I want to try to appear and get here on time. But coming from New York is usually a pain in the ass. But I made it, so I'm glad to be here, and I'm just sorry for the little tardiness.
No, you're good.
Mr. Welton threw it back sitting, so you know I'm always gonna slide through and partner call.
I mean, you know, since you got half of the greatest podcast tag team ever here.
And now we got the other half of the podcast tag team champions, because your tag team partner is also here.
It's Councilman Will Ferrell of Strattonville with his Parisiac constituents.
WWT's political official, the councilman, is in the building.
Yeah. I don't know, bro. Don't know. I walked into this.
I don't know what's going on with the view. I didn't change it.
Let me fix this. No,
Who had the keys last?
No one puts the councilman in the corner. Or in a square. What the fuck? There we go.
Hey, I don't know
what's
what
Brady Bunch. Like we just
there
we
we are. That's more like it.
Thank you for figuring that out. Well, it's appropriate that the councilman is here. We were just getting ready to get into some NXT talk. Tuesday Night Pharaoh was last night. A lot of stuff happened. A lot of stuff I didn't like personally. So I'm gonna make a dealer's choice. There's a lot of shit, and I say shit in the most honest fashion.
Oh, we could have a good one today.
Where do y'all want to start? Women's division, men's division.
Let's start from the beginning.
I mean, I was gonna say Ricky's the easy one to get out of. I feel like that ain't gonna take much time.
You think so?
Well, yeah, let's start there. Main event, Ricky Starks taking on Shawn Spears, and I believe Shawn Spears is now in the running for one of the shortest title reigns in NXT, which is weird because it seems like his faction was just starting to gel or cook. Yep. And they pulled the belt right off him. I don't know if that says more about Ricky Saints or maybe like is Shawn just supposed to be the antagonist? I don't know.
Both.
Yeah, I say both.
I feel like this could end up being a long-standing rivalry between these two. They already have history as it is in other places. So maybe Shawn is just going to take Shawn Michaels, that is, going to take that and capitalize on it and see if he can make a masterpiece out of it.
No, he is. He is.
Which he will. I believe it.
Him winning last night showed me one thing. Triple H is full of shit. Triple H is full of shit. Because if you telling me you not watching AEW and not throwing shots back at them, you lying your ass off. Because you now finna have three of the biggest misses from AEW go in a triple threat match as Stand and Deliver for the North American title. And it better happen because that's going to be your probably best match.
And all of them former AEW superstars. And the fact that you end the show with not only Ricky Saints winning the title, but the whole crowd chanting Tony fumbled till the last minute, which was amazing and brilliant. Shout out to the fans because NXT fans go so hard. They really
we got the best fans.
Yeah,
I still don't like that he took out the whole group though. I don't think that was necessary.
Yeah, that was overkill. That's what bothered me is like you make his faction seem weak, and we just got here.
But who gives a damn about anybody them in that faction? Come on.
I was
supposed to be like Dice better.
Yeah, I don't like the name, but I like Nico and Jensen together. After I saw that tag match between them and D'Angelo family, I was like, okay, they got something here.
But they ain't got no weight on their name yet. And they're giant Schism, but Schism was also better and had weight to their name.
Schism was trash.
They had weight to their name though.
Not that great.
They were booked horribly, but individually they all had weight to their name.
No, Joe Gacy is not a leader, and he takes everybody that's with him.
Yeah,
look, Gacy had weight though by himself, and then you had Grizzled Young Vets. Should nobody be punking Grizzled Young Vets?
They wasn't grizzled no more. They got shaved and neutered. It was different.
Is that who was in Schism?
Yes.
I don't remember none of that era of Schism. I don't remember.
Now,
all I remember is Casey, Ava. That's it.
Sindel, that's not happening. And you know why? Blame Charlotte Flair. It's Tony ain't coming.
Yeah.
Tony said she good.
Yeah. She is every right to stay where she's at because she's doing just fine.
Also, you ain't getting tits up on WWE TV.
That's the one thing in AEW production I don't think WWE can do better. I don't think they can do timeless better.
No, I don't need.
They can.
No.
Here's why. From a pure production standpoint, it will look so much cleaner and crisper. The problem is you ain't getting a watch for the shoe and you ain't getting nearly as many tit references, which kind of is her character because, like you said, I ain't scared of nobody with the last name Bane. I get my back broken every week.
You gonna take everything that makes it great away from that. It's most of it.
I just caught that reference.
I was like, then, right?
I'm gonna need that. I'm gonna need that clipped for the record. I'm gonna need that clipped for the record. Just saying.
That shit was hilarious.
That was gold.
It's gonna be the same thing like when Matt Hardy came over and they did that, and he was the leader. It was like
this would be a long diatribe. Because like I told you, I want to understand, and I don't get that character.
What, Matt Hardy?
I don't get Broken Matt. I don't get the compound.
That's all
I don't get
You
the-
had you had to be there when it started, and I think
Yeah,
I
you had to
remember
be-
you saying
yeah.
this
It's just
before.
not my thing.
I
It
was
used to
I
piss
was
me
in.
off.
I remember you saying this to us before a while back. Said, and honestly, I somewhat feel you because in the beginning I shared your exact sentiments, but my brothers put me on and literally explained everything to me, showed me every segment and video. When you really break it down and watch it, kind of like how you watch the Firefly Funhouse episodes, it makes sense after a while. But it was
Like
just
the way
so,
WWE did
was
it, you
so
just it's like this
good.
man just got a big ass house.
See, that's the bad part.
Wife
You
over
came in
here
at
playing
the
the
wrong
piano, the
time.
baby running around. I was like, this
Nah,
is
that was too.
weird.
That
You came in at the wrong
you had
time.
to come when it began. You had to come when it
be in there during
began.
Impact. You had to be at
That
the
was too much
Impact.
Vince in WWE.
Yeah.
Now, when you got broken Matt Hardy, now with Trips, I feel like you get more of the essence that you got in Impact when it first started. Because Borash is there, and Borash has more of a voice now. You get more of the true broken Matt Hardy. But also, I feel like it's kind of run its course for the time being. Like you get your little bits and pieces of it, but give it another 5 years, and then we can bring it back.
It's hard now. I should go out as the Hardys. Just go out as the regular Hardys
And retire undisputed.
Yeah, that's where y'all at
or
right
something.
now.
Yeah.
Just
Go
go
back
out.
to NXT, y'all.
So it's safe to say Ricky Saint is we're done with that, right?
I mean,
like
he's going to defend it, stand and deliver because they got to
we
fill
know
out
that.
the card. So
it's a triple threat at least.
I guess final thoughts on Saints. Do you feel like it was the right decision?
Yes. Strike while the iron is hot. And here's the most important thing. It was a secondary belt. That, like, if you're going to bring somebody in and you're going to shoot them toward the top of the card, you always should shoot them for that secondary belt, because if you put them for that world title, and 9 times out of 10, you take that L, and you know what that means? Back of the line, all the way down that mountain. What happened to Deonna Purrazzo?
Ooh. Yeah.
And I love the Virtuosa. And I think what her and Mrs. Johnny TV got going on is good, but like, ain't nobody watching that on Ring of Honor. But you just fall down the mountaintop. So if you shoot for that North American title, and had he lost, he's still fine. You still in the middle of the card. You just got here. You still getting your feet wet. We can keep this running. Eventually you get it. It's perfect. And also there's history. And now you have All Ego interjecting himself in. And
this brings some prestige back to the North American title too.
That too. It makes it feel important.
Because we know the Don couldn't do it.
Yeah, and they couldn't. Yeah. And it's just like it really just been kind of just sitting, floating, and not really being anywhere. The three of them, if they do a triple threat match and stand and deliver, you're gonna see people want to get the North American title again. You're gonna bring the division alive again.
And they're gonna put on a show. It's gonna be good.
Okay.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be damn near main event worthy, and like probably rival the other matches. But it will, like you said, Councilman, it will probably have matches.
Probably best match on the card.
Probably, no, is the best.
On paper, it is,
yeah.
To me, no.
Which one is so far that's been booked?
On Stand and Deliver, it's going to be that ladder match.
Oh, you're right.
As
You're
somebody
right,
who was in the building
right,
for the
right.
first inaugural North American Women's Championship match, the way they're going to structure it, and you can kind of see who's probably going to be in the match, because last year
so walk me through that. I don't see it yet. That's why I'm holding judgment.
So last losing because she was a powerhouse in last year. So it's Zarya. I'm pretty sure Fallon will be in it because she's a former champion. You see, Kalani was the first champion, so she's in it. So beating Roxanne is huge for her. I feel like we got maybe 3 more names. So I feel like
did you say Roxanne?
Roxanne's not going to be in. She lost.
No, she lost last night. That's how Kalani.
I think so. I'm saying Zarya, Fallon, Kalani as former champions. Mm-hmm. I feel like Lola's going to be in it because she's front and center in these promos. I feel like there's a chance that Izzy Dame gets in it, and I think she's probably the breakout star from the culling right now. I think she has a claim. And if you do one more name, I know last year we had a vet, and it was Mia Yim. So I'm just thinking about who can be the vet.
It's probably going to be Cora.
Yeah.
That ain't a vet, though.
Nah,
Cora
man, this is a job for the boat.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. Y'all can follow me at.
The boat will be too busy breaking bones at Bloodsport.
I feel like there could be a vet, and I feel like Bailey's not doing anything right now.
You know what? I'll do you one better. This is the perfect spot where you got to take at least 2 of them spots and give them the Impact. Give them at least 2 of them to TNA.
Sure.
Yeah, I would not. I think that would be dope to see.
Give me Rosemary, and there's your base, there's your vet, there's your power, and then take your pick of anybody else out that knockouts division not named Marsha.
Bo's is saying Tessa.
Fuck no.
I'm good.
I'm so good on that.
Listen, hold on. Can we get Tessa versus Jada Parker?
No, I don't want the Crimson Chin anywhere on my TV. I don't want the Crimson Chin on my TV nowhere. Take Nigga Chin back to Mexico where she came from.
Oh my God.
Let's get back, bro, because Jada gonna knock about a good 15 centimeters off of that chin.
It is still gonna be out here like.
But no, the landscape of that match is, unless you feel like Soul is going to be in it too. I wouldn't dispute that. She was in last year's as well. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of women that'll vie for the championship. I don't like the way they did this personally. I think it's a cop-out just to have another match for a belt. And no, I'm not saying Stephanie needed to defend it, but they could have made it like a contract. You know?
No, I agree with you. I hate the idea of being like, hey, dog, you just pulled double duty. And you know what?
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
here's why. Because if Miko loses, I'm going to just be pissed off.
She tweeted
that's the one.
She might take Roxanne last night.
She might take out Roxanne. Yeah, I was going to say.
Out Roxanne. I think Roxanne did one of her moves, so she tweeted out Roxanne.
Yeah.
That's Tasha Steelz is the one.
Yeah, I can see Tasha Steelz in the match.
That's the one.
Yeah, we haven't got the final boss on any NXT programming since announcing her retirement.
We haven't got the final boss since she dropped that belt to
Roxy.
Mandy.
Oh no, Mandy, excuse me. Yeah.
A minute.
Which, by the way, can somebody please explain to Mandy Rose that when you combine belts, you are not a double champ. You merge titles, Mandy. I know you're blonde and that hair dye may not be your natural color, but like, baby girl, that was a title unification. Unity means one. So like, not a double champ, dog, and it's not semantics. It's just a matter of fact. Like, if people defending her, please go back and like understand some elementary, middle school reading comprehension and such, because y'all are kind of why we are in this boat that we're in now.
If I knew,
tell your news.
If I had known
wrestling,
if I had known it was gonna be this bright, like I'm glad I have these.
All right, keep showing your nudes off and stop talking about wrestling. All right, leave us alone. You left.
All right, then get back in the ring and make us remember something otherwise and prove us wrong and actually be a double champ.
She showed us how much she make a month. She ain't coming back.
Oh, I don't blame her.
She's not coming back.
So we talked about the North American ladder match on the women's side, but let's discuss how we got here, which is Stephanie Vacour relinquishing the title just because she wants to push the division forward. And her favor is that she'll get to pick who she faces at Stand and Deliver, which seems like a war between Jada Parker and Jordan Grace, but what if she doesn't pick either one of them? But what do you guys think of that move and what it means for the division? Right call, or she only one title defense, by the way.
Yeah.
Let's don't and say we did, because I was upset. I was upset.
We being lazy for WrestleMania week, ain't we?
Lazy way to go about it.
We've been booking lazy.
We're not there yet.
First is triple threat match with Roman, Seth, and Punk. Lazy writing. Just putting people together because you ain't make nothing for them. Now we just taking away titles, so we give them something. Oh yeah, no, I said it. I brought it up.
Really?
That's lazy. That
wouldn't make sense.
That's been about 10 years in the making.
Separately, those matches hit way harder than the triple threat match. Seth and Punk for the final chapter to go at it, way bigger than the triple threat match. Punk versus Roman for Paul Heyman, way bigger match than the triple threat.
Here's the thing.
Roman versus Seth, way bigger match.
Now that one.
But what's bigger than having all of it in one match, though?
That's
Paul Heyman's still going to be involved.
That's
I mean, Heyman's turning on Punk and Roman.
I really didn't care. I was like, yo, this feels real lazy to me.
Yeah.
I think it's a plot twist. I think there's a plot twist.
I agree.
Yeah.
It is a lazy main event to kind of cleanse the palate of Jay Gunther, which probably has more claim to the main event now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it just took a murder on national TV or Netflix.
Yeah, we'll get to that though. We still in NXT. We'll get to that.
So back to
is,
North American title.
I don't know why we. First of all, now it's so much happened to where when you did that, it made a lot of people look bad. One, the crowd did not like that, and it took Stephanie to really like get them to like calm down. But then also too, we talked about it on yesterday's watch along. How much you just dropped Julia from there to do all of this? Like this just made.
What if she picks Julia to beat her again though?
So I was gonna say that
I wouldn't mind
that she picks Julia and they run it back at Stand and Deliver.
She got to be heel though. Like she got to be a heel. Julia.
Somebody's got to be.
She got to come back.
Stephanie's the favorite, so Julia maybe come back a little different.
Yeah,
I'm up for Jada Parker and Jordan Grace just having a match at Stand and Deliver, and I hope it's a wild card pick. Like I hope it's somebody off main roster that she picks because Stand and Deliver is going to need some star power. We talking about a 9:30 start time. And now now that y'all didn't put Miko in the chat, man, I'm here for that. I'm here for Miko getting a main event against.
It's just Miko needs a win.
It would be a great comeback, like for Asuka, if she did return to NXT for a one-off to go against Stephanie McCurd to challenge, because that's something we would never have thought we would ever see.
Right.
And just to get her feet wet again, also in her return, not to mention she's the history that she's made being a part of that roster. I think that would be surprising, but I think that would also be fun. I'm not saying that that's my pick, but I'm just saying now, like there's always a veteran that comes back. Like we said, same thing happened with Becky, with Lyra Valkyria and such. And, so I don't know, maybe.
I like the Asuka pick, but there's only one problem with Asuka, and that's the fact that she has never taken a pin in NXT.
Well,
so if you, that's a
more
hell of a statement.
Yeah, I wouldn't touch that.
If they give Stephanie that, she can't. She got to be main roster bound. Like,
not even that. But it's the stamp on like, all right,
that's a hell
one. Let's just do this as a litmus test. Let's see exactly what level you at, because you talking Asuka, you talking almost God level when it comes to the women's division in the ring. So let's see where you truly at. Let's see if you can run with the horses and swim in deep water, and then cool. If you get the pin on some fluky, it doesn't have to be decisive. Hey, you duck the miss, small package, 1, 2, 3. Let's get out of here. Let's escape.
No. They didn't even get Roxanne the pin against Asuka in NXT.
That's what I'm saying. And Asuka ain't got back to the level of where she could take that hit and it won't hurt. That's why I can already see the pick, because it's the match we never got. Stephanie gonna pick Roxanne. Because remember, we never got that match.
That's true. It was always Julia and Steph and Roxy.
And so here's the problem. On screen, whoever wins, I got next. She never had her championship match with Roxanne. And that is the woman you beat. Because again, she just put Kaylani over for this match. She is the one that is the vet in this. And that would help sell this show.
That's good, because there's a lot of talk about why Roxanne isn't currently booked for Mania or Stand and Deliver as it stands.
It should have been Bailey, Roxanne at Stand and Deliver or at Mania. It's what they should have found a way to strike that out. The problem with Roxanne is she's been in the title picture. She's just been eating L's. Like, I get it. I hear you. It makes perfectly good sense. But damn it, give me something new.
But you gotta remember,
give me something different.
We 2 weeks away.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like we 2 weeks away. We don't have nothing to build over something new. And then if you do,
Jordan Grace is new. Give me a new matchup.
Maybe they don't have Roxy booked for anything yet. If she doesn't have a match, maybe she's due for an appearance, and they're just keeping it low.
That's ass. My client.
That's just cold. Stand and Deliver, hosted by Roxanne Perez.
That'd be wild.
Oh God.
No, not saying like that, like an appearance. I'm just saying like she's gonna jump a winner or a champion, or even on the main roster at Mania. Now she might not even show up to Stand and Deliver.
My client deserves a card.
Space to fill on these cards. It's not even funny.
Yeah,
I'm talking about Mania too. Mania feels very light to me.
No, it feels fleshed out, but we can get to it.
No, it doesn't.
In a bit. I can see where the rest of the school fill out.
next Monday, next Friday, in the next couple of
Mania
Tuesdays as
feels like a
well. We still
one
got
night show to
time.
me.
Yeah, we have not gotten nothing that got me just like, oh yeah, let's
See,
do
now
this.
this I could get on board with.
Yeah, Roxy, I believe Roxy can beat the Bird Lady.
So
She
that's
absolutely
what I
can.
think is going to happen.
He has.
I'll take a triple threat match with them and Bailey.
That's what I think we're getting at Mania is Roxanne, Bailey, and Lyra, because Roxanne's gonna pull up on Monday on some old petty. Nah, Bailey, you ain't getting nothing as long as I'm around tight. And then run it back at Mania.
Good call. Good call.
So it's gonna be a bunch of triple threat matches at Mania.
Yeah, I don't know why they so like hell bent on this triple
Hunter,
threat.
Hurst, Hemsley.
Speaking
Any
of
other questions?
You know what?
I thought about the triple slots in the machine.
Oba and Javon.
Wow, yo.
But
My
you
bad.
know what though? That I peeped that. Yeah, I feel that.
It's I literally made this joke to my homeboy like a couple of months ago. I was like, find somebody that loves you like Triple H loves triple threats. Because everything Hunter has done, all these little number one contender tournaments, triple threat matches. The man loves a triple threat. And to his credit, you at least get new faces and more faces on TV.
Mm-hmm.
So why not?
Yeah.
All right, so we got to move on from NXT, but I want to talk about the world title picture with Oba, Trick, and Javon, and presumably Dark State looming above. Do we feel like we're getting a new champion crowned at Stand Deliver, or does Oba's reign continue?
Yes, it shall.
So, one, can we all agree that this is like looking at a Pokemon evolution?
Ah, stop it. Stop it, sir.
Animorphs. It's like Animorphs.
Stop it. I know exactly what you're talking about. You ain't
Am I wrong?
You ain't
No,
Am I
you're not
wrong?
wrong. You're not wrong. It's the
Am I-
beginning, the middle, and the end. The origin story and all of that. No.
That
I
being
saw that
said,
post, too. I saw that.
the
post.
ruler wins. Like, I think we keep the ruler intact, but I feel like this turns into those three having to go deal with Dark State, and then Dark State getting a couple wins, and then one of them out of Dark State challenging for the title by the end of summer.
They face them next week.
They face him in six-man tag. There's a lot of speculation about Trick being the leader of Dark State, but what if we're getting swerved here and somebody like Javon is the leader?
No.
That'd be wild. No, that'd be
Because they all kind of like younger talent. So you know,
All right. Well, I feel what you're saying. However, I'm looking in a completely different direction. You know, my brain goes a little. I feel like there's something connected there, and with what's going on with obviously the cult. Like we're seeing a lot of factions forming. You know what I mean? Like we got the culling, you still have the family, and then you have Dark State. My thing is, what if? And I know this is going to be stupid. This might sound stupid, but not a left field. But considering the segment that we saw last night with the Don and all of them digging up information about each of these men, I felt like there was some reluctancy with Channing Stacks Lorenzo. I don't know why, but a lot of people have been saying that he's needed to break away from the Don, or they just need to break up the family and the Don thing just needs to be over, period. But it might sound stupid, but for some reason I just couldn't help but wonder or look at Channing Stacks Lorenzo in that segment and just think, what if he's setting up the Don because he wants to be a Don himself? What if this is like a breakout thing for them? I don't know how appealing that would be for some, but I would be here for it because I'm not here for the Don. You know what I mean? So, but that's just my thought. Like, I just couldn't help but notice, like, even when he was, addressing him and saying goodbye to him, everybody else left the table. Channing Stacks Lorenzo was still staring at him and just got up and walked a different direction. So I just don't know if maybe I'm reaching or reading too much into it, but that's just something that I saw.
if Stacks is the leader of Dark State, somebody else is going to have to watch NXT for me. Because the day you make Stacks the leader, first of all,
real retribution like.
First of all, this dude is getting his ass whooped.
Better than Retribution, first
by
of all.
the action figure of himself on his reels. I will never take you serious at all. At fucking all. The fact y'all think y'all gonna convince us to put him in the front, 4 other people in the back, and let him cut a promo.
Well, no, not even saying him cut the promo, but him do and be exactly what we expect the Don to be. The Don. Like, you don't see that guy. He's the one calling the shots. All of the other guys are his goons. The same way, but just apply it to Channing.
Yeah, maybe the underboss want to be the real boss right now.
I'm not saying that's what's going to happen.
What's the girl in the group?
Is he?
Rizzo.
Adriana Rizzo.
She got a better chance at being the Don, and I'd buy that before any of them 3 dudes in there.
Okay.
None of them say Don to me when I see
That's fair. That's
fair. The Don.
It's time to dismantle the Tony D'Angelo character. He can team with Andre Chase. That's what I want to see.
No.
And they both broke down. I'm here for that. I'm here for 2 broke down versions.
Down on their luck. Tag team.
So we doing Bad News Corbin again?
Yeah, but give him the tracksuit with the white beater and it got stains on it.
How about we just don't do Chase U at all?
It ain't
Chase U gone. I'm just saying.
Well, not even Andre Chase.
This is Broke University now.
Hold on. I like Andre Chase as a character now. His shoe game is tight.
It's no shade to Andre Chase, but he needs to chase his ass on out of here.
Put some respect on my clientele's name, okay? Those checks are still clearing over here. I'm still doing some work for him. We'll be back up.
It ain't looking like there's any work being done for him at all. He's looking a little disheveled.
Look, dog, my man like to buy shoes. I don't know what to tell you. My man like to buy shoes. Like said, that shoe game be clean though. So
that's the only person I say shoe game is nicer than Shane McMahon. Yeah. That's saying a lot.
Yes, it is. That man do.
Shane McMahon pull up with fresh J's all the time.
What have you not seen the Tribal Chief?
He be having like one color. Let's be honest.
I love the Tribal Chief, but he's probably number 4 in shoe game. I'm just being honest.
Like somewhere in there,
and he just started doing
like top 5 because
you
pay attention to the ring gear.
He just started rocking the shoe game like in his Tribal Chief era, like maybe 3rd year in. And
even then, he still pull out some of them B and C list Jordans just because. And I'm like, dog, that's kind of nasty work from a man with a Jordan brand contract. That's a little nasty work, Roman.
But for this triple threat match for the title, if I don't see this happen at Stand and Deliver, what's the point? What is stack them boys up, Oba, and let them know. Go to the back of the line because this is the rulers era right now.
My
I can't
God,
see
what
that
a
happening in the Trick. I really can't see. I feel you. I really can't see that happening in the Trick.
One of these triple threat matches got to end like this at WrestleMania weekend. One of these triple threat matches got to have 2 bodies getting pinned.
And it only makes sense for Oba because he's a freaking monster. What's happening here? What's going on, y'all?
No.
Few malfunction.
So moving on from NXT, there's some things I want to talk about, but I'm going to jump our first topic that I wanted to.
You're just going to skip Jada Parker and Kaylani Jordan beating Roxanne last night, or no?
No, we mentioned that lightly. We mentioned that lightly.
Oh, okay.
I
just didn't know if they were touchy subjects for y'all. I know
we talked about NXT enough. We almost at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, we could. We got to talk about some other stuff. Bret Hart's been in the news recently. He was on the Ariel Helwani show, and I quote: "He feels like wrestlers are actors pretending to be wrestlers nowadays." He actually cited some stuff. If you heard the interview, it's a pretty lengthy interview where he goes through a number of things, talking about the match that's being inducted into the Hall of Fame. He also talks about Hulk Hogan and how nobody emulates his way of wrestling style, and feels like more people nowadays emulate the Bret Hart wrestling style. Did you guys catch any clips or the Ariel Helwani interview? And what are your thoughts on him saying that wrestlers nowadays aren't actually real wrestlers, that they're actors pretending to be wrestlers?
Well, at least those actors put their hands up. Maybe your career wouldn't have ended if you were being such a real wrestler.
That's out of pocket.
Disrespectful.
Because every time I'm about to give your guy a chance, he do something or say something stupid.
Man, he's just talking. He's older. He can say whatever the hell he wants. He's a 3-time Hall of Famer.
I
tell William Goldberg to aim better. How about that?
Y'all are mean.
Tell William Goldberg to be safe and not a hot
We're here to
mess.
comment on what he said, okay?
I mean, but here's the thing, though. It's
I
like,
mean, is he making a point though? Because we're thinking about
Yes.
NXT now, how we have the NIL pipeline. These are not people who wrestling was their first choice. If you look at the WWE LFG, remember what Gunther said to that wrestler?
Mhm.
And those wrestlers, he's like, "Oh yeah, you were a
Olympic gold
Olympian."
medalist.
He's
Yeah,
like, I
you'd
guess
have to fight
doesn't,
me.
Doesn't pay the bills, does it?
yeah.
Like,
We
let's
fight
be
at that
honest,
point.
this is a
I'm
lot of
sorry.
people's second choice, second option. That's what he means. Like people's heart of the game isn't there anymore. Which
I mean, but here's the thing, though. Like, I don't think that's a necessarily fair thing to throw out there just because, oh, this was your first choice and you made it. That's like saying a person that wanted to wrestle can't no longer do it, and it's just like, oh, that's that. Now you're judging that person. Or the same thing, like for myself, if I was to go to WWE, I'm not a social media person that wanted to become a wrestler. I was wrestling before I became a social media person. So this is my second option. So it's just like, yo, like I get things have to happen. But it's just like, yo, bro, like, I'm sorry that everybody's not like how you spent all of your life doing this and everything like that. Not everybody had that same upbringing. And then, of course, yeah, it's not the same anymore. But isn't that a good thing? Because weren't y'all on the road almost fucking what, 89% of the time? Wasn't it like y'all had to be wrestling every single day? Even when you were hurt, you pill popping so you can still keep your job and manage to do this. And you want to say, oh, that's the love of being a wrestler and doing that? Nah, they just then got smarter with this stuff. So yeah, you're gonna bring in some actors. Why? Because this is America. America wants to see personality, and you have people who are in-ring performers that are now getting here too, and it's just a big mixture of it now. But it's like, yo, don't come, shit on them just because, oh, they weren't in the heart dungeon getting chokeholds and clover leaves put on them when they was 5 years old, and now they get to go ahead and go into the industry and do what they need to do. Like, what kind of shit is that? I'm sorry. All of us, that dude is that kid that was like, I'm gonna be a policeman when I was 5 years old.
Whoa. I was with you up until about that point. I am probably one of the biggest Bret Hart fans out there. The way I see what Bret was saying was basically, what happened to the game I love? Where's the love and the pride in your craft? Because Bret has also said, I'm glad that they don't have to spend 300 plus days on the road. Bret has been accepting of this new generation, but I think he's also a little critical in the sense of like, hey, dog, where's some of the pride in your craft of like actually trying to own some of this and master some of these skills? Instead, you're out here acting like you're just playing a role. I'm just trying to get this in, get it out, and go, and you're not caring about the craft. It's like you watch basketball now. Where's the mid-range jumper? Why can't we get a nice midi going here? Why everything got to be a 3-yard layup, and half y'all can't shoot threes? And that's how Bret's looking at it. It's like half y'all can't do the stuff y'all are trying to do. Why are y'all steady doing this? Own your craft, find your lane is how I took it. But because it's Bret, and a lot of people see Bret as a bitter person for various reasons.
I'm looking at Oscar's back fist when you say that, by the way.
Still a faster and better backhand than.
There's one person to blame for why the Hart name isn't like revered as it used to be. That's Natasha.
Don't you dare! Don't
This is Natalia's fault. The reason y'all here turned up at Bret Hart's remarks and stuff like that, it's Natalia's fault. It literally
absolutely
is. That's the reason
not.
we don't look at the dungeon the same way. That's the reason we don't think about the hard hitters, because the boat.
No.
The boat got half the women's roster looking halfway decent.
Decades, we have tarnished the Hart name, and it's one person's fault.
Oh God, I don't think the Hart name
Teddy
is tarnished. The whole point of being on a podcast and interviewing these superstars, especially they're old and they're of course they want to, of course they embrace that attention to still be relevant, of course. But he was also being asked what he thought, and he shouldn't be like he shouldn't have to dumb what he thinks down for anybody. Like just how we say our opinions and what we think, it's what we think. So I'm not going to sit here and say he should have said this and he should have said that. He said what he said and he meant it. And you know damn well he's not going to apologize for it. But it's just his perspective. and it's just how he feels in his regard. And we know his experience was different. It's a different generation. It's still hard for a lot of these old timers to get hip to that. Guys like Kevin Nash and guys like, even when Undertaker called the locker room soft and everybody went crazy. Like it's not it's not so much what he meant to say, but it's just everyone taking some things out of context. Now, if he's saying something about Bill Goldberg, then that's another story.
That's all gospel, write it in red, all first.
Exactly. That the blood is just paint to him at that point.
Quiet as kept, Brett is right, because I mean, there's a lot of people that are acting and not really doing what their skill set calls for. It's the reason why you got Trick Williams doing Jasmine Nick's moveset. Like, if your big ass don't do a headlock, stop doing all these damn kicks. Like,
but also too, that doesn't go back to just them. That also goes back to creative. So it's like, if you're gonna point fingers at the people that.
I mean, he's done that too. He's thrown shots at Trips and Sean. He's been like, "Hey, y'all have got to put people in better spots as well, creative and rings and moveset wise." Like, to be fair, Brett has been an equal opportunity hater, if you want to call him a hater. He's been fair and equal across the board. But here's the one thing I think all four of us can agree on. Did he tell a lie about that racist that wears red and yellow? Did he tell a lie about that man?
No, he did not.
All right, that's all that matters. Brett and his black wife, good in my book. Let's go.
All right, let's go to the next topic, y'all, because I did want to spend a little bit of time here. And unless you've been living under a rock for the past weekend, it shouldn't be news to you. But there's been kind of a war of words back and forth ever since Swerve Strickland went on Vlad TV and did an interview discussing the release of Hit Row, I think 4 years ago now. And in that interview, I outlined some stuff about some aggression in the actual meetings they had when they found out that BFAB originally got it released. This led to him talking about black people in wrestling not really getting a fair shake. He felt like that. Booker T chimed in on this. They kind of went back and forth. They actually ran into each other publicly last weekend, where Booker felt like the Vlad TV platform kind of played black men against each other. He played himself and stuff like that with even doing the interview in the first place. Have you guys been able to hear any of the quotes? Did you check out Swerve's interview? Booker T went on his, I think it's called the Hall of Fame podcast, to talk about this at length and about his in-person conversation with Swerve and how he mentioned he was just disappointed in Swerve. But also, Booker T, I think, I'm going to butcher this stat. I just saw it. It's been
836 days?
No, like 605 days since a black singles wrestler has won on a PLE. And also there's another one that's around like 835 where they've been in a main event. And that's probably like Bobby last week.
It's 836 since one was on one, and I think the 600 since one won one for a singles match.
So we tried talking about Bobby Lashley to Booker T's response with that, and response to things like Vince back in the day. I don't want to say the quote, but Booker feels like there's just not enough talent in that division right now, that people aren't good enough to warrant that spot. So I want to go around the panel, touch on what you've heard, your thoughts on the back and forth. I don't feel like we can label a right and wrong here, but let's just get you guys' thoughts. Honey, I'll start with you.
I did not get to see the full video or the interview from this podcast, but I did see a lot of clips surface. It just seemed like both men had a lot to say, and they rightfully should. I don't think that either of them should feel pressed for how it really went down, unless I'm missing something, because honestly, I didn't see the whole thing. But when you bring wrestlers of these stature together, and of course being black men, Booker T and Swerve, these are men who have dominated and created their own way in history. I'm sure in a lot of ways Swerve can relate to Booker T, and in a lot of ways Booker T can relate to Swerve, reminding him of a younger self. Therefore, Swerve, of course, looking up to Booker T. And of course, having known him, because Booker T was in NXT while Swerve was there, wasn't he? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
As commentator, yeah. So
they cross paths.
I just feel like it was just more so them being able to connect with each other on a different level, just defending their statures and defending where they feel the industry is for them. They're just they're creating their own paths, man. And I don't think there's really any right or wrong. It's just about their perspective. But I mean, I would just have to see the video to get more context and details to see exactly how it was presented or how they spoke to each other. But that's all I got.
Jacob.
All right. So first things first. Neither one of them looks that great. Let's just objectively look at this. They both look bad. And part of this is the way that Vlad releases these interviews. Mm-hmm. It'll be a whole 2-hour interview. He'll release the whole 2-hour only for subscribers. Ain't nobody paying to subscribe to that. So what you get instead is part 15, part 12, part 21, part 7, and you get them in 10-minute clips. So what set off, and AJ Francis kind of works his way into this. So what that whole quote about somebody being loud with BFAB, not having her travel covered, it's AJ Francis, he's owned to it before this. That wasn't even in the clip that was released last week. That was from the whole interview that somebody pulled, and it made the rounds. And then so did the black comment, which got Booker started. And it's like, and Booker going, you shouldn't do Vlad TV. And then Vlad pulling out, hey, dog, here's some receipts that said, allegedly, you were down to do it too. I was just running late, and then it fell apart. So it looks bad. The more Booker gives attention to this, props to him and Swerve for both addressing it in person. Whatever said was said. I'm sure it was some variation of what Booker said, but props to them for addressing it in person. But the problem is, you still got another 10 plus clips coming from Vlad that's going to make this look a whole lot worse, because the more you talk, and depending upon what those clips on Swerve say, just makes you look like an ass, or makes you look like a Uncle Tom, like a company man, like people have accused Booker of being. But the flip side is, you've heard the stories of Booker T putting hands on people for saying out-of-pocket things back in a time where it probably wasn't in Booker's best interest to go put hands on people. There's a certain SummerSlam shoot that you go ask some people about, but it's messy, and like it just doesn't look good. And for all the people going, why would a black person go on there? And you pull up New Jack, Mark Henry, and I can't remember who the other third person was that had been on Vlad before Swerve. Mark Henry's like the one that you're like, all right, that's probably like, But again, it's a platform. You just got to be more careful with these things, because they're going to get done in clips, headlines, tweets, all these little bit pieces, and we've lost the ability for nuance. And a platform like Vlad TV is somewhere where you really need nuance, and it does not necessarily exist. So you create situations like this, but at the end of the day, for Booker to go, maybe you shouldn't look at it as a black thing. Maybe you should look at it as just not talent there. Yes and no, Book. Like, yeah, you could say maybe there's not talent there, but dog, how do you go almost 1,000 days? And I talked to my boy. I was like, let's think about this. How many black wrestlers are on the main roster that are men? Let's just do this real quick. Profits, Montez and Dawkins, New Day, Kofi and Woods, Mello. If you want to count Big E, who else we got?
R-Truth.
Anybody else?
Hold on, I'm going
That's
through
it?
the list. Hold on. No, that's about it.
That is a problem in of itself.
Like, it probably speaks more to what Booker's saying about like there's.
Is
that
it a
probably, that probably gives him credit to what he's saying as far as that people haven't risen to that occasion yet. I'm not saying that they won't.
Oh snap, Naomi.
I said black. Well, okay.
You said male.
Apollo Crews, but he's injured.
Yeah, he's injured.
Apollo. Okay, so we'll count Naomi.
But he's an example of one who hasn't risen to that occasion yet.
But here's where I was getting to my next point. Is it so much that you haven't risen to the occasion, Or is there just a glass ceiling that you can't break through? Or is there not even a glass ceiling? Is there just a ceiling that you can't break through? Because let's look at it. How long have we on this show and other shows clamored for like, hey, you don't have to necessarily break up the profits, but you could give Montez a single run, something, test the waters with it. Hey, Kofi's a former world champ. He's proven he could still run. Like, you could do something with what you have, and I think you're trying to figure something out with Carmelo, but also, Book, you know how that works. Sir, you got cooked, fried, baptized, buried, dug up, killed again, and then buried again at WrestleMania, and all in that lead up by one man who happens to run the company now from a creative standpoint. Like, you can't sit here and tell me talent, because you mean to tell me your talent couldn't put you over Hunter Hearst Hemsley at WrestleMania 19?
It sure could have.
So make it make sense. Like, the top is a lazy excuse, and I get it. Book is great, Hall of Famer, tag team, all these great things. But like, sir, I understand who signs your checks, but call a spade a spade. And also, if you're saying that maybe they ain't a talent issue, don't you own one of the biggest damn independents in Texas? Why ain't you pushing? Why ain't you going to go grab something? Why ain't you trying to give WWE the next person? You're over here saying, hey, I'm doing everything I can to get Zilla ready for the next level and get Zilla to WWE. Why aren't you going to find a Cappuccino Jones? Why aren't you going to go find the next WWID person? Why aren't you trying to find that? You got Zilla. You did Roxanne. Where's your next black person? Book. You had the infantry at one point. And this isn't to shoot at Book, but you can't make those statements when you have the resources behind you and the things that you have done yourself. Like, sir, you are as much of the problem as they are. Swerve has a point, just like you have a point, and to Swerve's side is like, Swerve, shut the hell up.
And that's what I mean. Like, nobody's necessarily like wrong, but I think they're wrong in like where they're trying to direct that energy. But yeah, I could be wrong.
Like, Swerve, you're right. Yeah, you probably should have had a problem when Vince did the whole do-rag thing and hit you with that line. Yeah, you probably should have. But at the same time, Book's like, hey, dog, I got to shut up so I can get the next man through the door. But you haven't brought the next man through the door yet. So it's two-sided. And also, Swerve, you are in a quote-unquote better place. And you have already, for better or worse, kind of ruffled certain corners of the IWC with your views on black women and other things. Sometimes the best is just say no and shut up. Our next question is my point. Because both of y'all have a lot of skeletons and a lot of dirt behind y'all that folks can go, well, you have a point, but this kind of negates your point. And yeah, like Swerve also, shouts to Swerve for getting a lot of people out of the Lucha Underground contracts. A lot of folks signed a 7-season contract. Lucha had no intent of doing 7 seasons. Swerve paid up a lawyer, got everybody out the deal. Solid dude, great thing for that. But also, like, again, there's always a counter to everything that you've done. Both y'all just got to shut up. You're on different sides of the street. You should be like, hey, you know what? You're right. You're right. How can we come together and do something? Because there's still no togetherness. Yes, y'all might be on quote unquote separate sides of the street with different companies, but Book, again, you got reality of wrestling. I can't believe it would be too hard for you to tell Swerve, hey man, go talk to Tony, see if he can let you come through. We won't make it a TV thing. We'll do it in-house only. You don't even have to wrestle a match if you don't. Just pull up, show some love, support. Let's go help make something. Let's show a unified front. But instead, we're going to probably get another 2 weeks of them going tit for tat and bitching. I'm off my soapbox now.
Councilman, any thoughts on the back and forth, and where do you think, I guess, where do you feel like resolution lies in everything that is coming out?
Not the Price is Right, Mike.
So let me start off by saying Vlad TV ain't shit.
True.
Because they definitely don't care about what is going out as to what is going to trend. And they know drama sells. So that's what they go for. Between Swerve and Booker, again, it is perspective. It's bad that you're going against each other because your perspectives is different. To Honey's point, neither one is wrong, because if you look at Booker T is by far, and it'll still be a debate, Booker T is by far the most successful black wrestler in the wrestling industry. And so when he looks at that and all that he did, all that he went through, it's just like, yo, I've made it. And I've had to shovel shit. I've had my highs. I've had my lows. I've had characters I've played. I've had characters I wasn't too prone on playing and went ahead and played it anyway. And I went and did my thing and I waited on my time. Now, that's that generation. Now you have a generation like Swerve, who is told to be able to stand up for what you believe in when something is going wrong, when something is not sitting well with you. And that's why you have these differences between the two. And the thing is, Booker T didn't have no one really looking out for him, so he had to look out for self. Stands for the point as to why you didn't put in the next man, or you didn't have this. But also, too, you should look at the fact that although you had that, isn't it weird that Vince McMahon never made you WWE champion?
Hello.
That part. You never held the primary.
That Mark Henry never became WWE champion? Isn't it weird that there's a 20-year gap from The Rock to Big E, to Kofi Kingston winning the WWE championship? So we'll call it what it really is. Y'all don't think black people watch wrestling, that there's no market for us. Now, you'll give it to someone like Damian Priest. Why? Because you have Mexico, you have Puerto Rico. You could push it over there. This is why I said it's a difference between black and Asian wrestlers, because y'all don't have that market established. WWE doesn't have the market fully established yet overseas, which is why you're seeing folks like Shinsuke, Asuka, and the rest of them not being known what to do, because you don't know how to appeal to that audience. The same way you do with black wrestlers. It is weird as fuck that black people have to play black people in order for y'all to let them in. Biggest example, you say that the black person can't be the face of the company, yet isn't John Cena just a white R-Truth? We can't have that conversation though, right?
I'd say more K Quick are either the original run of R-Truth, but I see what you're saying, yes.
Either way, though, you're about to be a 17-time champ, and R-Truth can't even get a WWE title shot. It says a whole lot. That's why when he had that promo with Cody Rhodes, I was like, bro, be glad you're not doing it with me. I'd have roasted your ass. Because let's hope when you have your Hall of Fame, you thank Tony Yayo for giving you your biggest triumph.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Which he has done.
Which he's done. But you better make sure you keep doing it.
Just remind the people.
So it's really the biggest thing of y'all don't know how to speak to the rest of your audience, and that's your issue. You're figuring out how to go to everybody else, but you won't sit here and say, hey, black people is a big market that if we cater to them correctly, they will buy, because everybody wants to dress up like Bianca Belair. How many little girls dressed up as Mercedes Moné? How many shirts did she sell?
I haven't seen it.
But for some reason, y'all say that those aren't the people we can sell. Oh no, we'll only give it to them for 3 months during Black History Month around that time. But now we got to put it back on Charlotte Flair so we can make real money. That is the biggest issue. The fact that y'all really think that folks that look like us, and even including Hispanic people and Asian people, that we didn't build this shit. And for you to keep up this lie to say that we're not marketable at your top place, that's the biggest issue. And it's just messed up that from this Vlad interview that Swerve and Booker, all we're going to see now is the bickering instead of us looking at, hey, let's look at the real big picture.
The real problem.
To your point, why haven't black people been in the singles match on the PLE? Why is it the last time that we had two black people headline WrestleMania was when the time Mercedes Moné was signed to WWE? And how long has she been going? She's
in
been
a
going.
pandemic. And it was a pandemic still.
It's been 5
So
years.
it's a safe bet.
Those are the questions you need to ask. So again, I don't hate on Triple H, but Triple H, eventually them little political answers you keep giving, you're going to get yourself caught up real bad. And we can tell Stephanie is not helping you out because y'all are effing up.
That's him and the board and then Bruce Pritchard and them. You need to get them all the way together.
And I'm sorry, I hate to say it like this. Rock, you need to check yourself too. And you need to remember you're half and half. Understand, we understand you love your mama, we understand you love your Samoan dynasty, but remember who your daddy is. And that's your problem too, because I can tell you don't put nobody over that look like us. You'll slap Ethan Page on the ass and give him a go up, but you won't go over and shake Obafemi's hand?
Here's the Rock's problem. I'm glad you said that. Rocky, I feel like if you look back at the nation, there's something from that Die Rocky Die into the nation that clicked in his head that he was like, they don't embrace me. And he never really was able to shake it. And it does not help.
Oh, no. That wasn't the thing that fit. The thing was his father. He could not stand his father. There was like 10 years where he did not speak to his father.
Right, I know. There's that.
To his other side.
There's that, but like and I was getting to that, is the thing that doesn't help is that he is racially ambiguous.
Great word.
That if you look at Dwayne The Rock Johnson and you didn't know jack diddly shit about him, you'd go, he ain't black, is he?
I don't know about that.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily.
I just was like, yo, he black with good hair. Because honestly,
Yeah.
if you'd have told me you was related to
And I'm
The
not
Rock,
talking about now's version, not bald version.
That's what I'm saying. Look at The
big
Rock
but
now.
like
Look at The
previously.
Rock the past 20 years, give or take. He's been racially ambiguous, and he, to his credit or discredit, has made it a point to make himself racially ambiguous, with the exception of when he embraces his Samoan heritage.
which is something also too that has been a hard pill to swallow in all of entertainment. Like, why is it that we don't get someone that's for us? It's the same thing with you pushing Miles Morales. Miles Morales is a great character, but why kill his father off and make him only embrace his Puerto Rican heritage?
Mm-hmm.
Why is it that whenever is a black representation, it has to be half? It can't be somebody who's from, or it has to be some type of stereotype that we cannot connect to. Why can't it be somebody when we see them, we like, yo, I went to high school with a dude like that.
And his
Even
black
with Black
uncle is one of his biggest ops.
Yeah, even Black Panther, all of them are a complete disconnect from us. And then the person that we did connect to, you made the villain who did nothing but drop truth the entire time and furthered the disconnect between the African continent and Black Americans. And you see that through all of this entertainment in these small, and if you either small or big nuances. And the only thing is like it's only going to be so long before it can continue to be ignored. And it just sucks that because of the platform Swerve went on, because of this now interaction between the two of them, we're going to lose sight of that.
Yeah,
and shout out to you, Vlad, for definitely making sure that
y'all were being messy. Like,
but that's what they known to do. That's what they're here for. They're here to do that. They're here to be messy. Orlando Brown called them out, but because Orlando Brown is deemed crazy, nobody listens to him. He called Vlad out. He was like, yo, Vlad ain't shit. He a culture vulture. He tries to dumb down the culture, and he don't pay nobody shit, and he makes millions off of the content base from us. But because this dude is a little off when he does stuff, no one listens.
I mean, let's be honest. Vlad got his platform from being messy. How he got the money to start Vlad TV and everything that he's done is because Rick Ross's crew punched him dead in the face on camera for running his mouth, for speaking on things that he shouldn't know. But that's a separate conversation, argument for a different place. But yeah, here's my biggest thing. And I think we'd be having a slightly different conversation that if everything that Swerve said was said elsewhere.
Yeah. Where they put the full thing out for you to take it not out of context, but it's like, okay, I've read.
They're not just gonna post clips. They're gonna be like full video here, and you watch the whole thing.
Even if we clipped it, even if we did clips, I think we still have more or less the same conversation, but it's slightly different and less vitriol of the why are we doing this, and why are we wouldn't lose sight of the goal. We could keep this linear focus if it came from something other than Vlad TV that already has a reputation of being drama, mess, however you want to look at it. Because let's just be honest. This is a place that had Sticky Fingers from Onyx on there sitting there saying Michael Jordan went bald because of us.
They like talking about he eat his own poop.
And ain't nobody fact checking, ain't nobody scrub it. The man was like, are you serious? He's like, yeah, Michael Jordan went bald because of us. Go look it up because of Onyx. And it's like, yo, like, y'all got to have some journalistic integrity. Says a journalist. I sit in the journalism realm. Councilman, you've done things. There's a certain journalistic integrity that no matter what I'm doing, if I'm talking to you, interviewing you, and you say something out of pocket, I got to stop you and go, hey, you sure about that? And then go, hey, can you get me somebody to confirm that? I got stories that I want to
mark that to take that out.
Like, I got stories that I could go run and tell, but I need one or two other people that were in the room that can sit here and confirm it before I go run and ruin my name. But because they need clicks and attention, they'll just run with it and look what it's done. But you know, we need something positive. Let's get it moving, Mr. Welton.
Yeah, you also, got us all flustered over here.
And also, Glasgow, you ain't shit. I just wanted to make sure that we still acknowledge Glasgow, Scotland ain't shit.
Yeah, we know why. We know why too. And London, you guys were a little bit better.
Yeah.
Previous two stops before.
You know what you did.
What are we talking about?
We got to move on. We'll talk about it offline. But you guys know it involves the EST. We're not talking about me this time. We're talking about the actual EST.
Oh, they did kind of boo her a little bit.
They know what they do.
I want to hit some quick stories real quick before we move to something I want to spend some time on. It's being reported that Rusev has now re-signed with the WWE, and New Japan's Tetsuya Naito is a free agent. Two hot commodities. It's reported that Rusev is now back. Naito, that you guys might know from New Japan, I believe he was Okada's final match as well in New Japan, a little over a year ago now. Where do you guys feel like Naito will land, and where do you guys want to see Rusev at as far as weekly programming?
Like,
I'll start with you, honey.
You guys know where we want to see Rusev at. You know, like with the recent reports of him and Lana reconnecting again. It seems like we're in the part of the year where Rusev is getting his groove back, like Stella, and I'm here for it. Bring me Rusev Day ASAP because we miss it. And I think the crowd would absolutely love it. So just come back home, buddy.
Every Rusev Day. Every single day when he walks out is Rusev Day.
So
get my Rusev Day shirt.
So I got a Rusev Day shirt in the closet. So let's talk about that. The creative design behind the Rusev character. And we talked about it with AEW with other characters as far as putting a better spotlight on the characters and kind of doing their shtick a little bit better with better production. Y'all don't want to see the Redeemer in WWE? Because that's what I'm here for.
I wouldn't mind a little a fusion of both and just leave it all in that ring.
If you can you can do it like Alexa Bliss, then yeah.
Triple H is definitely going to know what to do with Rusev around this time, especially now that we have a Cena retirement tour in the mix of all this throughout the year. Could we possibly see Rusev and Cena again?
Don't come anywhere near that bullet train. Nope.
I'm just saying.
No. So here's my question. I'm with Seth. I would much rather some variation of the Redeemer. I honestly would rather him come in as Miro and not Rusev. Like, leave the Rusev name dead and gone, because the last thing he walked out on was a cuck angle. Let's not. And here's the other thing. Can you get Rusev Day back over?
Hell yeah.
Yes, as long as he's back with Lana and then you got them to get. Yeah, hell yeah.
Hold on. Let me say that right. If he goes to SmackDown, you could get Rusev Day going again. If he goes to Raw, you're going to need a mixture of the Redeemer.
I would rather the Redeemer as a heel and have him come out and just nurse somebody. And let's just get going that way. Because if you do Rusev Day, you're kind of pigeonholing him, are you not?
No. Here's the thing. Rusev Day was fire. The problem is that Vince decided to book him terribly because he wanted to smash Lana and Lana wasn't having it. So then you tried to tank Rusev Day. We wanted Rusev Day. When Rusev came out that tank, I was like, yo, make this dude champion now. You can get Rusev Day back. Especially because with everybody that's there on SmackDown now, like, bro, Rusev Day versus LA Knight.
Rusev Day versus Jacob Fatu.
Rusev Day versus Braun Strowman. That shit is going to sell like crazy. But I also understand why y'all say the Redeemer too. That's why I was like, if they can find a middle ground for it, dope. But I think either one is just going to be dope for Rusev to be back.
Yeah. Well, we know he was at WWE HQ today, so things are already in the works, and we'll probably see him sometime, I'd say, Raw after Mania, if I'm being honest, in Las Vegas. Any thoughts on Naito and where he could land? I think the easy layup is AEW, but is there a chance that it might be somewhere else?
Well, we just talked about it. If you want to have a successful one, go to AEW because of their connection with Japan. It'll be an easier transition for the American crowd to get used to you because they have that bridge over there. Right now, WWE is still building that, even though with like Wrestling Noah and all this other stuff, there's not a solid bridge built there for them. So even if he goes there, you know, he could end up like Shinsuke. He could end up like Julia because Julia was one of the hottest tickets, and look what they just did to her. So I would say go get your stint in AEW, let the American crowd get used to you, and then come on over here because Okada's going to definitely come to the WWE. I know we're talking about what's his face, but we know that's who's going to be next.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to piggyback on Councilman. I think AEW would be perfect for him, considering the partnership and how they have been able to transition the viewership with Japan and everything like that. And of course, we know with Okada being there, it's good. It could lead up to a lot of good stuff. So I think, I think I'll say AEW as well.
And it's an even better day. We get last Friday. It's official, y'all.
We get what?
We getting last Friday. We getting the fourth film. It is.
Oh no shit!
It's officially on. Oh,
it's a day.
Stop that, sir. You stop that.
Today was a good day.
Cautiously optimistic, but as far as Naito goes, one, it feels like New Japan is his home. Like, I understand the make the jump to AEW. Like, I get it. It's there. It's easy layup. Cool. But you
not hurt.
Get lost.
She's not hurt. She's not hurt. Special with nobody's. She has been wrestling on live shows. She is not hurt. So don't give me that. Don't give me that. All the visa issues. She has been traveling consistently. I have seen the reels. Do not give me that, sir. Hey, nothing wrong with that girl. I'm sorry.
Pride's hurt.
Don't say you're gonna say the number, aren't you?
63.
I knew it.
Nice.
Somebody wanted to say it. Somebody wanted to say it. Just get it out your system for the poor girl so she could put herself
I
out
was
of
going to wait till the end of the show.
in
But I'm glad
chat.
you teed me up. I was going to wait to the end. But everybody is probably consistent. Naito probably goes to AEW. Really quick, Kelly recently did an interview, and she said she still follows the wrestling product and hopes to have a match with Charlotte Flair. Is there any interest in that from any of you guys? We know the rumored Evolution PLE coming possibly this summer. Could we see a return of Kelly?
No, next.
Who was the other one that said they wanted to face Charlotte in their retirement match? Who else said that? Yo. Now I know we talk a lot of shit about
You're
Charlotte.
not going to turn your nose up at Kelly, but then tell me to be convinced about the boat. That's what we're not going to do.
No.
That's what we're not going to do.
First of all,
No.
I have no. I can put all my money that the boat is not beating Charlotte Flair. I can put my whole savings on that. But Kelly, just come to Evolution 2, do an appearance, maybe do a tag match.
Real quick. Pick Kelly out of a lineup.
Of what?
All right.
I know what she looked like.
I know what Kelly Kelly looked like. No, don't do that. Don't do that.
No,
I know what Kelly Kelly looked like. Kelly Kelly actually still looks great too.
She does.
Generic blonde number 3.
I don't know. I don't know if she'd really want to go at Charlotte.
She held the division down for a bit. You know, that was just the time of wrestling we were in.
Now you know what?
Held it down.
Her versus Nikki Bella would be dope. I wouldn't mind seeing that at Evolution too.
As a Divas throwback, sure. Or
Yes,
Kelly Kelly versus Lola. You know, we could do a little, model stand-up competition.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm kind of here for that.
There you go.
I'm kind of here for that.
I'm not. I don't think there's any. Nah, I'm good. Me, I'll pass.
Okay. In other news, maybe we'll see Kelly Kelly later this year. This is also the 3rd year anniversary of Cody Rhodes' return at WrestleMania when he took on Seth Rollins.
Happy anniversary, Dion.
Exactly. Everything we've seen just since then, obviously he's our current undisputed world champion. Everything worked out, right?
It's crazy. It's been 3 years since the timeline changed. That's crazy.
No, not crazy since 3 years since the timeline changed. The timeline changed because he won last year.
No, it was when he came back.
Nah, I don't know.
No.
Y'all
are both wrong. Y'all are both wrong. The timeline changed when he tore his pec.
Real shit, that is when the timeline changed.
You know what? You're right.
Yeah, because the fact Brock Lesnar went over on that, I'm like, what world are we in right now?
Because if he doesn't tear his pec, then we get something completely different, and he's probably on his 2nd title run at this point.
I still don't see him winning. I still didn't see him winning at WrestleMania 39. I still would have predicted Roman to win.
Nah,
I think you
get
that out of there sooner.
That's right.
Oh, it was.
Yeah, as soon as they changed it, that's when I knew. I was like, yeah, he gonna win. Because y'all convinced me when y'all told me he wasn't worried about beating Hulk Hogan's record. Once I knew that, I was like, nah, Cody's about to win. Cody's gonna.
I wanted him to beat Hogan's record. I wanted that reign to keep going. But
I wouldn't have minded.
I understand.
I wouldn't have minded.
Revenge is a dish best served cold, and it's a slow process. Revenge.
But can I ask this? On a scale of 1 to 10, Cody's title reign so far?
6, actually a 5. It's there.
That's tough.
It's
With
a 5
to win the championship.
I'm gonna give him a, and I'm not trying to be a hater. Okay, I'm not trying to be anti-Cody crybaby or anything like that, even though I am. But what I mean is, I think I'm gonna give him a lucky number 7, just because it's on the cusp of, if you keep it going for another year, maybe you could move on up a couple notches. But I'll give him lucky number 7.
Going?
Get the reign going. That's if he gets
it for another year.
I didn't say I wanted that. I said if. Calm down.
I agree with the 7 just
Y'all,
because it has nothing else as far as
I
title
don't
reigns
want him
better.
with that belt anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, there hasn't been another better title reign company wide, I'd say. So I'd give him a 7.
Lucky number 7, only because if you're including everything overall with Impact and ticket sales and the kids and everything that he's it's big face shit, but I'm gonna keep it at a 7.
I can't think of another title reign. I don't think there's not another title reign in the company better.
Roxanne, Rhea
wasn't
Liv.
defending. Rhea wasn't.
And I
defending.
hate Liv.
You think Liv's reign is better than
Liv's reign wasn't better.
fire reign. Y'all can say what y'all want.
Well, you know what? She had
Liv
matches too. She had matches too, and she showed up
Liv
for every
had a
single one of them.
Champion. Yeah.
Liv got no sleep this past year.
Yeah. She had. I would at least give her title reign an 8. It ain't no 10.
Damian Priest had a better title reign than Cody.
Shit.
Nah, I can't say that.
No.
It's close though. It's close though.
Mm-mm.
It ain't too far off, but no, I can't give him that.
Oh no, here's why.
Luther had a way better title reign than Cody.
Gunther has a better title reign than a lot of people.
It's not being received as well, though. It's definitely not being received as well. He's not being spotlighted Well, clearly he's not being spotlighted as well, but I'm saying it's not being received as well just from the character work about it. Because he went from you gotta remember the whole Damian Priest stuff was very weird. They turned Gunther into the preppy, cowardly boy. It feels like he's just now himself again, just violence.
Yeah.
But
He's
here's
back
why
to his
Priest
old
had a better
roots.
run. Priest was never the true. Priest never got B-sided in his title run. Cody's been the B-side in his title run.
To who?
The Bloodline. Period. Point blank. Next sentence.
What bloodline member is?
Please don't say Solo.
What bloodline member did you believe would have actually beaten Cody? And Roman
not,
ain't being here.
But here's the thing: it's not the fact that I had to believe that Solo was going to win. It's the fact that the headlining aspect of your title run was the Bloodline in the form of, hey, oh shit, Jacob Fatu is here. Oh damn, they're letting Jacob Fatu be Jacob Fatu. That's the star. Cool, Cody. Can't wait to see him run through you. Okay, next. Hey, when's Roman coming back? Oh, great. Now I got to go team with Roman to keep myself hot and relevant. You've been the B-side in your title run. Whereas Damian Priest had Seth Rollins, Gunther, and CM Punk and Drew McIntyre all in his orbit, and he never truly got B-sided.
On rotation. And Randy Orton in there a little bit too.
Yeah, he never truly got the B-side. He was still... If he wasn't one by himself, he was 1A, 1B. He never was two. He was never the B-side. Cody Rhodes got Adrian Bronard and was the B-side on his own stuff.
I hope that the Cody Crybabies are listening.
Yeah, you only now got it, and that was
Happy anniversary, Dion.
that was between you and Cody. Between you and Kevin Owens, and that was 2 months ago. You just now had a decent. Right.
He was the B-side against KO.
He was, yeah. Honestly, yeah.
More interested in what KO was doing.
Damn.
He was the B-side from the moment he started his title and after he won at WrestleMania 41 versus AJ at Backlash.
We were more. No, he was the A-side then. But we were more interested in what KO was doing in KO's run than we were Cody, because we were literally like, hey, now's the time to get the belt off of this man. This man is stale. KO is hot. He is cooking with fish grease. I don't care if it's a 2-month run. Let KO get it.
And he should have won at Royal Rumble. I'm just
our Saturday night main event, one of them, somewhere.
Yeah. Okay, so speaking of Cody's title reign, we got to talk about his opponent for WrestleMania. John Cena was really recently speaking with People magazine and said to expect more unpredictability on the way in regards to his recent turn of actions. What do you think that means? Because for the past 3 weeks, we've just seen a war of words between him and Cody for the European tour. They finally touched in London at the O2 this past Monday, where Cody got some comeuppance from the Royal Rumble, from Elimination Chamber. But it feels like something's missing from the rivalry when you talk about unpredictability. I feel like this person might be around 6'5", 270 pounds, bunch of tattoos, bald head. When the final boss going to show himself? Because I don't think we mentioned him at all until Monday.
I have a slight prediction about when we could see the final boss again. He's lately, and we've been seeing him since last year, since WrestleMania 40, doing these little pop-ups every now and then. And he skips a couple months and does another pop-up. He did the same thing this year, showed up at day one or whatever it was, or the Raw Netflix debut, showed up at NXT and things like that. He's making friends, drinking Terramana with everybody. All of a sudden, fast forward, we're here at Elimination Chamber, and now you have Cena selling his soul to you and turning on Cody Rhodes. I feel like we can get another pop-up. If he doesn't pop up, well, you know what? I feel like the final boss could end up popping up either this week or at Mania. Within the next couple weeks. It has to be, because we're, like you guys said, it feels like something's missing. It feels like shit's getting stale. It doesn't feel like it's amped up enough. Like earlier, you guys had said that WrestleMania doesn't feel as big because there hasn't been anything to help you indicate that. So what better way to do that than insert the final boss? We are going to be in Chicago next week, I believe, for SmackDown, or is it Raw?
They Raw.
It's SmackDown Friday.
It's SmackDown Friday at Chicago.
Oh, no, we're in Minnesota.
They're in Minneapolis on Monday.
They're in Minneapolis on Monday.
SmackDown Chicago, because Ray Phoenix debuts.
I feel like first the final boss is going to touch SmackDown and go embarrass CM Punk in Chicago, and we're going to get a repeat of everything that's happened with the last year with Cody. Only this version with Punk. That I just feel like he's just going to get that out the way first because Punk has been calling out Cena and The Rock.
Nah,
Rock kind of already broke character on IG, talking about they've become good friends.
I think he's
doing this.
I think he's faking the funk. I think he's faking the funk.
He's also said that him and Cody were good friends.
Yes, and he was drinking Terramana with him, and look at what they just pulled months later. So I understand, but that's what I'm going with.
I think we get.
Are we calling Dwayne Two-Face? Is that what we're doing?
Yes, Two-Face Dwayne. Yes, sir.
You wretched little bitch.
That's what we got for Dwayne.
I'm not calling the final boss that. I think we either get him on this Monday. No, you know what? We're gonna get him on the 14th because you know what we haven't had? We have not had a contract signed between John Cena and Cody Rhodes.
I don't think we need one, but I see where you're going.
We didn't need one for Bianca, but we got that one with her and Io.
No,
I didn't want that one.
You needed the one with Bianca because you had to sit here and figure out, all right, how are we going to really just jam Rhea in here? And then you're like, oh wait, we still got like 3 more weeks to kill after this. So cool, contract signing.
But think about it. We just had that bombshell of a contract signing on SmackDown for night 1's main event.
Right.
We definitely want to have one for Raw. And what better way to have the final boss come out and say, I will be in John Cena's corner for his match at WrestleMania.
So we're going to have another Bloodline Rules situation, only he's not in the match.
I don't even think you call it Bloodline Rules.
We trying to make these Mania tickets more expensive because he's going to actually be there?
Mm-hmm. I think that's what you get to show that, like, hey, I will be in John Cena's corner, Cody. See you at WrestleMania.
I don't know how I feel about that.
It's pretty much.
I think it's too light for the final boss, considering the last time we saw Final Boss and Cody in the ring, he absolutely bloodied and humiliated him. Well, stood over and watched it happen.
Which is why it only makes it, because that's what the final boss is. Remember, even when John came out to help him at WrestleMania, he was pissed. He's the overseer. But you also got to think about the other theory that I mentioned with CM Punk. And you still get what you want. I think CM Punk's favor is that John Cena will beat Cody, get 17, and Punk will come out and say, I want my title match right now. I'm going to main event both nights of WrestleMania. And CM Punk walks out as WWE champion. Now you get your interaction with the final boss and CM Punk in the mix.
Is it weird that I more likely feel like Cody beats Cena and The Rock makes an appearance and says, know what? Restart the match.
I could definitely see that.
You want to piss people off? Shit.
The final boss says, restart the match.
And then Cena wins that way.
The Las Vegas screw job of some sort.
Yo.
We know y'all love y'all.
Las Vegas screw job?
Man. Well, we got about 24 minutes until AEW Dynamite. Courtney Rice will be doing a Dynamite watch along. I want to make sure we talk about AEW. They did announce All In Week in Texas, which will take place July 9th to July 12th, starting with Dynamite that Wednesday. Collision will take place on Thursday that week. They'll have StarCast Friday and Saturday before Death Before Dishonor with Ring of Honor Friday night, leading up to All In Texas, which will be Saturday starting at 2 p.m. at Globe Life Field. What do you guys think about the week that AEW is going to put forward? I know this is really going to be a very big week for them. I don't think they did anything like this at the past 2 shows in London. Somebody in the chat fact check me if I'm wrong, but pretty big week for them. And we're starting to see the card kind of take shape.
Step it up, Tony.
Real quick. Did you mention Ring of Honor was getting a show in there or not?
The Friday evening, yes. Ring of Honor Before Dishonor will be that Friday.
Okay, so Death Before Dishonor, cool. So cool, but like I see what they're doing. They're trying to mirror it as Mania. Apparently, All In has become their WrestleMania, which I thought for sure Double or Nothing was their WrestleMania, but I guess they're like, nope, screw it. That'll be our SummerSlam. Hope it works well. I feel like those tickets will probably be a little more affordable. And everything in that North Texas area around Rangers Park, Cowboy Stadium, it's all very close. And they've already ran that area with the Ring of Honor residency that they had. I like it. Let's see. I think we're probably going to get Omega Okada there. You probably get Mercedes Athena part 2 or 3 there.
Yeah, it might be part 2 by that point.
If you even get more than one part. So I'm hopeful for it, but we're also 4 months away, 3 months now. Like, you got to get through Dynasty, you got to get through Double or Nothing. If you do Fyter Fest or Fight for the Fallen, you got your spring break Dynamite special in Boston of all places.
You better have some stories to tell.
That it's just looking right now, I don't know where we go because I can still see Death Riders going on. The only thing I see logically happening that we're moving that way is Okada Omega. I don't know what you're doing with the trios belts. I figure the Hurt Syndicate would probably still have those tag belts by then. Looks like you're positioning Big Bill for a singles run, so maybe you get Big Bill versus whoever the TNT champ is. But it's nice. Like, I'm glad you're doing a whole week, but get me invested where I want to plan it out now,
right.
3 months in advance. Because, the cost of everything just went up because of, a certain person. But so, make me want to spend my money now.
What do you guys think? Seems like it's going to be a big week. Anything stand out that you guys would want to attend for All In Week?
Fully in general, I don't care.
I was leaving it to Councilman to just spew the words out. I mean, I do care to a point, to a certain extent. I do care because I want them to succeed and do well, but I don't want to be let down.
I don't care. I don't care about your AEW Monday. I don't care about your AEW Tuesday.
I mean,
AEW Wednesday. And AEW Thursday.
And if we're getting who I think we're getting,
if you would have tied that up like Dr. Seuss, we would have clipped that.
I was going, but then I was so close, and then Honey jumped in. I was I was so close because I was about to do it for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I was just like, you was right here, man. I was right there. I was about.
I'm sorry, Will.
Take 2.
Oh man.
I was about to go like the green eggs and ham route and shit. Like that was good.
Oh man. Showing my age here. Then I think of Dr. Seuss.
But yeah, I don't care. Like AEW has definitely lost its heat. Like
there's things where where I'm willing to watch just to give it a shot, and then it doesn't do anything for me, and therefore I can't get invested into it because it just seems like it. Like I said, and I've said this numerous times, but it just feels like AEW is just all over the place with their storytelling, and they have no set format, So it's hard to even predict what will be happening by All In.
All right, we're going to go ahead quickly.
Real quick, I want to know what venue they booked for Dynamite and Collision because. Say what you want about the in-ring lately. The venues they've been booking and how things have been looking, it's been pretty dope and refreshing to see wrestling in different venues.
The Curtis Caldwell Center in Garland, Texas.
Let's see what that looks like.
Death Before Dishonor will be at the Esports Stadium in Arlington, Texas.
We know what that looks like. That is interesting. Shit like a high school gym.
No, EA Sports.
All right, moving on.
Yeah, EA Sports Arena. Now that's a good look.
All right, so I want to give people a good taste in their mouth, and also want to tee up our counterpart Courtney Rice for some excitement for AEW Dynamite tonight, where she'll be doing our watch along, where you guys will certainly want to tune in, despite some of us maybe not really caring about AEW. But AEW Dynamite tonight, live. The final curtain call before AEW Dynasty this Sunday. We're going to get Jon Moxley and Marina Shafir in a mixed tornado tag match taking on Swerve Strickland and Willow Nightingale. Adam Copeland taking on Claudio Castagnoli, a returning Will Ospreay, and timeless Tony Storm taking on Penelope Ford, with Megan Bain probably not too far behind. If you watch Collision this past weekend, we finally got Athena appearing on AEW television, also seemingly challenging Mercedes Moné. So that Owen Hart tournament is currently filling up, probably the most stacked tournament that we've seen on the women's side for some time. What, if any of these things stand out to you guys? I know, like I said, Dynasty is Sunday. We're going to get a lot of good content tonight, and you can catch it all with Courtney just in the next 17 minutes.
Time out, because this is how you know I haven't watched AEW in a while. Where the hell is Will Ospreay returning from anyway?
Oh, he just took a couple weeks off TV.
Oh, okay. I thought something happened.
I would say
he had
we saw TV since the Fletcher match, I believe.
No, he had a match with AR Fox, like a 10-minute, literally like a 9:40 match that was like 6 minutes with AR Fox for no reason a few weeks back. But I'm interested in Penelope Ford. She's been putting in work. I always felt like there was something there. The character works. Having her be the henchman for Megan Bain's muscle is pretty entertaining to watch and hilarious. Plus, Tony Storm, you got me, period, point blank, plain and simple. We will always pull up for that. And Swerve and Willow, see how that match plays out and see what we get heading in Dynasty. That's all my interest. So that'll basically be the first 30 minutes and the last 10 minutes of Dynamite.
I am most interested in Courtney Rice and the watch along of AEW, because that's going to be the highlight of this Wednesday night.
Facts.
Not the Courtney. Courtney Rice is what's saving AEW Dynamite at this very moment. Fake TK, you should sign her, because that's the only thing that's making y'all relevant is Courtney Rice doing these watch-alongs.
Shout out to the timeless elitist Stone Cold Courtney.
Let me run down these names that are in the women's Owen Hart tournament so far. Of course, Mercedes Moné, Thunder Rosa, Chris Statlander, Athena, Billy Starks, Jamie Hayter are all in the tournament thus far. It's a stacked tournament that if we really wanted to kind of
no Harley Cameron
book.
It's early because Owen usually doesn't start till late June-ish.
Oh, so we still get more people in it.
Well, it depends. They've done it
right now.
Okay. They've done it where it finishes at Double or Nothing, and they've done it where it finishes leading into All In. So, like, you either finish in May or you finish in June. But here's my thing, and this also applies for the men's side of that bracket. You see all these folks declaring, right? So when this starts in like a couple weeks or whatnot, who that declared is that TK is gonna be like, hey dog, on second thought, sit your ass down, dog. Nah. Because you know everybody that's the call they shot ain't gonna be in it.
If I'm
freshman row, does the winner get a AEW Women's World Title shot?
Yeah, and they get their own Owen Hart belt.
Yeah, so this is Mercedes' tournament to lose, because I gotta feel like that she's going for the big belt at All In Texas.
You'd assume,
but I think she gets it whenever she wants. It's kind of like Money in the Bank. Like she calls ready for it.
It was All In. It's like King of Ring.
It's like for All In. Okay,
I guess.
Once again, I don't care.
All I know is Mr. Khan. If Mercedes is claiming her 10th belt by Texas All In, I'll be there for that. But it got to be 10. Nice rounded number. Not uneven. Not 63. Not 7. Not 9. I need a nice round number. 10.
Go ahead and do the Lord's work for us. Go ahead and do that.
She does not need 10 belts.
And Ty Dillinger needs to be present.
Oh, I'm sorry. Here's clarification. The brackets will be revealed tonight on Dynamite from an article I'm reading. The winner gets a world title shot at All In on July 12th. So there we go.
Mercedes
looks like this will wrap up at Double or Nothing. So cool.
Mercedes tournament to lose. And of course, you can catch all that with Courtney Rice in the next 13 minutes for the Dynamite watch along. Anything else you guys want to talk about before we get up out here and let Courtney get started? This has been, appreciate you guys joining me on this. I think TK was supposed to show up, but clearly she has not made her presence felt.
No final thoughts. Just can't wait for Friday.
Glasgow, Scotland, you ain't shit. You know what you did. You know what you did. So
I can't wait to log off so we can find this out.
You know what you did.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
You can
All right,
sharpen
so-
pencils and fall load them. That whole country.
Step on Legos.
Or is it a country? Or is it a state?
In this country.
Geography.
Glasgow, Scotland.
Oh,
Scotland's the
city.
country.
Scotland,
My
yeah,
bad.
city. I was gonna say
Ooh,
city.
Glasgow's
Y'all.
the city.
Hold up now, y'all.
Geography, except gotcha. I'm not glad I'm not the only.
Let me know how y'all thinking Americans are stupid because I said countries, city.
God,
But I won't be
You
wearing no
quickly corrected, though. You quickly corrected. We got you.
Yeah.
We knew what you meant.
But they know what they did. They know what they did.
All right, let's tag out, y'all. I'm gonna start with Jacob. How can the people support you and find you?
Of course, you can find me on Twitter at _JDella. You can find my writings and musings over at anscape.com. April's buying guide, the must cop sneakers for the month, should be dropping in the next couple of days. Looking and working, hopefully, to get something on and popping for Asia Wilson's debut shoe when that drops. So, yeah, just find me on Twitter, anscape.com. And you know what? I got something coming to Women's Wrestle Talk next week. I'm going to pick up the pen. I'm going to do a little bit of work.
Oh,
I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna give y'all something, and then I'm gonna go back, and then I'm gonna go disappear again. So yeah, that's where you can find me.
Probably fitting.
Councilman.
You can find me at Mandy Rose is Not a Double Champion on all social media platforms and YouTube and Twitch. And you can also look out for my new podcast, Hands Up. It is going to be a it's gonna be available on audio.
I'm so fucking sick.
I'm telling you, the only reason we shoot on Brett like this is Natalia's fault, man.
Yeah, I almost fell out this chair just sitting on his face.
Oh man.
Oh, I'm sorry, honey.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
I am genuinely sorry.
And
at
I
how this
genuinely
makes you
do
feel.
not. I genuinely do not accept your apology.
No, I wasn't apologizing. I was not apologizing for my statement. Let's make that very clear.
No,
I just
apologize
said-
to me.
I am sorry of how this makes you feel. I'm not sorry for what I said about him, though.
That's fine.
But I'm sorry at how it makes you feel. Because
respect
never
it.
want to make
I
any of my
respect it.
panelists feel bad.
I get it.
But yes, that podcast is coming out very soon.
That's
on
fine.
all
I gotta
audio
I just feel the knife like twisted a little in my side, so I just gotta like give it an extra
Barbershop
yank to get
window.
it out. So
Honey, where can the people find you and support you?
you know what, said I'm gonna take a note from your book. I don't want to be found today. Y'all can find me at haveaheart.com. Thank you and good night.
And of course, I guess I can be found today. You can find me on Said Says at Twitter. Said is the answer on the gram. My website, SetterDWeldon.com. A lot of content coming, a lot of interviews being placed in the website, a lot of things we're going to be doing leading up to WrestleMania. I think I'm going to be at MLW Battle Riot this weekend in this great city of Long Beach. Come check us out if you're in the streets there. We can love to get you for an interview. Fans I'm talking to here. What else? We still got a lot of Queen of the Ring content that we're going to be dropping here and there on YouTube, on www talkpod.com. Support all of our content creators here, the people that are not here, including Dion, Courtney Rice, Big Money TK. We got a lot of stuff, a lot of good stuff working for WrestleMania week coming up. And we want to make sure that you guys are well fed for that WrestleMania week. Thank you guys in the chat for popping in on us. Cousin Ron, Special Little Nobodies, Jeffrey. I think I saw some other names. If I miss you, charge it to my mind, not my heart. We'll be back in 63 hours for the Friday edition of WWT Live, where we'll have more news. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a full house. Until then, this is Women's Wrestling Talk, the number 1 or 63rd women's wrestling network on the planet.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at wwtalkpod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms, like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at wwtalkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the number 1 women's wrestling network on the planet.